What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, and this is how we traded the 920 crossover strategy relative to what SPY was doing today, folks. But before we get into the chart, folks, if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day and sometimes on the weekends, folks. Also, don't forget to leave us a comment. We always appreciate your comments. And don't forget to share, because remember, folks, sharing is caring. Let's get to the chart. Here we go. So again, now yesterday being FOMC day, Federal Open Market Committee, and decisions on the interest rates, from the Fed moving forward. And Jerome Powell on the mic yesterday and all of that. So a lot of craziness yesterday afternoon, big run to the upside, followed by a big sell-off back to almost where we started, during the meeting yesterday, or when the report came out. But here we go. Pre-market high. Got a pre-market high of 504.80. Pre-market low down here at 502.86. So right out of the gate, folks, we're looking at almost $2. So we will take $2 in pre-market every single day. We will, again, folks, we will take that every single day. Now, as you can see right down here, we got 502.19. This is going to be 5-minute intraday double top. So again, but every line on here, with the exception of everything that's labeled, is a 30-minute zone. 30-minute after hours zone right in here. 30-minute stair step up here. 30-minute stair step. Another 30-minute. And I stair step these because, again, it was stair stepping down yesterday. That's what it was doing yesterday. But let's get into the regular trading hours and kind of see what we got. Now, looking at that first candle, let's look at that first candle. Massive volume on that. What we're looking for, folks, we're looking for anything over 600,000 shares traded in that first minute. When we get that, generally speaking, it's a good day. When we're sitting around 300,000-400,000 shares traded in that first minute, and again, generally speaking, it doesn't turn out to be a great day. But again, here we go, 844,000, 700, a little over 844,000 shares traded on that first minute. But look at that first minute, folks. I mean, this just ran up and tried to take out that pre-market high. And as you guys can see, for the first couple of candles of the day, I mean, again, you get this zone right here. This is a really interesting zone right here, because this was a 30-minute double bottom 2 different times. This line right here, folks, 30-minute double bottom 2 different times in pre-market. So it happened right around in here. It happened right around here again. So we're assuming that is really, really, really good support. So in other words, we have to breach that back to the downside. Now, we had a couple of our members that took this death cross to the downside. Remember, the death cross is a 920 VWAP and POC all on the same 1-minute candle. So again, death cross to the downside. I waited until we breached this area again, because this was, even though it's pre-market, it was still a demand zone, a 30-minute demand zone. Once we got that close, I had my finger, and I was telling folks, I said, hey guys, I'm going into puts. If we get below that 503.57, I'm going into puts. And boom, I mean, it happened. I went into puts right there, and I rode that thing down. Now, here is kind of what I'm looking at on this trade right in here. This was an intraday double top. So this line wasn't here. This 30-minute after hours, I don't know if I'd put this 30-minute after hours. I don't think that I did. So I was kind of looking for a zone over here. I could have looked left. But at any rate, I was kind of expecting it to push down a little bit more. It didn't. Now, you can look at this candle right here at 942, and you're thinking, okay, well, we had that push back to the downside. We breached the 9 back to the upside. Why did you not close out the trade there? Well, the answer is very simple, because we stayed below that pre-market low. And trust me, I had my finger on the trigger. I mean, I was ready to take myself out of this trade if we breached this back to the upside and closed above this level. Because at that point, we turn a really, really nice trade into still a decent trade. And again, this was a really, really nice trade. It wouldn't have been as good, but again, we were able to use that 502.86 as resistance and push down a little bit lower. But again, this 30-minute zone right in here, this What do we got? 501.67. Had I known that that line, or maybe even a little bit more diligent with the after hours number, I will promise you this, I would have taken it out when we failed to get back below that. But again, I followed my plan. My plan was, okay, if we breach the 9 back to the upside, I'm taking myself out of the trade. And I did. Again, folks, it was a really, really nice trade back to the downside. Now, had we changed time frames, and again, you're still breaching these levels up in here, but again, this 5 minute wasn't here. I almost, I was actually getting ready to get back into the trade on this candle right here, so 10:01. And we had reports come out at 10, not a big deal at 10 o'clock today, I don't care. Unless it's a red folder event, I don't care about the 10 o'clock candle. It doesn't faze me one way or another. I was prepared to get in on this candle right here. I said, you know what? If we get a breach of this level, the 501.67, and by this time I had put this level up because I looked left and went, 30 minute, there it is right there. It was there. It wasn't as clear as I'd like it to be, but it was there nonetheless. What I was looking for on this candle, okay, so this 10:01 candle, I was looking for a breach right below this level, somewhere directly below this level, okay? What I didn't want to see is what an 80-cent candle, so 80 down to 96, 80 or a 90-cent candle. I didn't want to see that. I had my finger on the trigger, but number one, I don't like to take those intra-candle trades. It's just something that kind of goes against what I do as a trader. Now, every now and again, if you want to catch a quick, run, you're probably not going to get a great feel if you market in and market out on something like this. Every now and again, you will. But again, I was waiting for that candle close, and I thought, you know what? So I waited. I waited to test the 9 again right in here, and we tested that 9 and it ran down, and anyway, closed out the trade a couple minutes later. No, I was in that trade for 4 or 5 minutes, somewhere right around in there. So then after that, I mean, this is a beautiful cross back to the downside again into this area, 499.61. Again, every line on here is a 30-minute zone with the exception of everything that's labeled. So again, this line right here, didn't take it right there. Thought we could push a little bit lower. So what do we do in here? Now, I was in the group and somebody said, hey, what are you looking for puts? And I said, and we were down in this area. And I said, I'm not looking for puts until we get back up to 501.67 and breach it back to the downside. So one of our members actually took puts right in here at this level, only to watch this thing continue run up a little bit higher. So 66, almost $1 against his position. I said, why'd you take puts? He said, you said to take puts. And I said, no, I didn't. I said, I'm waiting to breach this again to the downside. And then we came up, we tested VWAP. You could have taken calls in here, again, right off this level and ran it back up to VWAP. But I didn't. I waited to close back to the downside. Now, looking at this trade over here, we have multiple spots to enter this trade. We've got a close both below the 9 and the VWAP and this 5-minute intraday double top, which by that point, this level was here. So we had an entry here. We had an entry, a fishtail entry right here. But again, I wanted to breach that 501.67 to the downside. So, as soon as this candle started to print, I didn't want to make this mistake over here. And I don't feel like I made a mistake on this candle by not. But, I took this candle. I did take this candle mid-print only to push down because, again, I didn't want to miss, 80 or 90 cent move out of that. So I took this and I ran down. And I kind of fully expected this thing, to run down to this $500.23 and maybe even $499.61. But I gave it a couple of minutes. It turned around on me and made it a slight loser. Folks, it's a slight loss. And the question is, well, you were in profit in the trade. Yeah, I was in decent profit. You 60 down to close to $1 move out of that. And it turned around on you. Well, quite frankly, I didn't know that I had close to $1 move out of it. I really didn't. I was trying to get past this level over here. I thought we'd be able to push down. And it turned around, and again, it made a loser on me. But you know what? That's one of those things, folks, that I asked the group, and I said to the group, I said, are you okay with whatever your rules say? So your rules say to do this. Are you okay to let a good green trade turn red? And some people said yes, some people said no. Some people are okay with it, some people are not. I'm fine with letting a trade turn red. Folks, it's just one of those things. Again, my strategy says, okay, I'm either going to go get my level or it's going to close inside that 9 and I'm going to take the trade off the table. It closed inside the 9. It did not get down to my level. So you know what? It turned a really, really nice winning trade into a slight loser. But again, folks, it's just one of the things. I don't care. It really doesn't care. We are not reliant on a single trade or a trade by trade basis to make it as a trader. The onesies and the twosies out there, yeah, would this have been a nice one? Yeah. But you know what? Ultimately, it doesn't matter, folks. And we can't get hung up on a single trade. Whether it's a good trade or a winning trade or a losing trade, folks, follow your specific process. Now, by this point, folks, I was going to lunch because I was hungry. I was hungry in here, so I missed this. Actually, a nice move to the upside, nice move to the downside. Kind of going between these levels, pre-market low. These are really, really. If you're playing a little channel, you can play these channels in here, and eventually the channel is going to break. But I missed everything in here, and I thought, you know what? I want to catch a little bitty piece of this thing. I got back from lunch somewhere. I don't know where I got back from lunch, and I saw this thing run up, and I said, you know what? If we can breach this thing to the upside, I'll put on this trade and see how we do, see if we can push up. And at this point, it's getting, a little bit late in the day. We're, I don't know, a little less than 3 hours left to go in the trading day. Push up above this, and I closed it out on this red candle as we're coming back to the downside. But anyway, really, really, really super, super, super nice trades. Nice setups all day long, folks. I mean, very, very nice setups. Now, if we look at it from, this is a 5-minute chart, folks. So look at this on a 5-minute. You could get in, well, you're probably not going to get out on this candle and ride it all the way down. But look at this. Again, this is a 5-minute. Look at it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful move back to the upside. There comes a certain point in the day where, and for me, it's 2 hours into the trading day. I like to be done. At this point, you're a little over an hour into the day. At this point, yeah, quick little scalp. But we get up into these areas, and I say, you know what? I'm going to wait for power hour and see if there's something there for me in power hour. So right at late in the day, we weren't doing a whole lot in here, folks. Not a whole lot going on. I didn't trust any of these levels, and I said, okay, folks, if we get a breach of one of these levels, either to the upside or the downside, I'll put on the trade. And I took a breach of 504.80 back to the downside. A mid candle again, because we're starting to pour some volume in there. And I was in this trade again less than a minute. It was a decent trade. It was a nice trade to the downside. I don't know what we got out of that. 73 down to, 40, 50 cents, something like that. Again, doesn't matter. A nice little scalp to end the day. But you can see throughout the day, folks, how there were just really, really nice setups all day long. If you play every single cross, you know what? You're going to make money. You will absolutely make money. Will you have more losses if you're not following the trend? Absolutely. But ultimately, you're going to do very, very well if you just every cross. I'm not advocating every cross. Your best plays, generally speaking, your best plays are going to come out of major levels. Okay, so 30-minute demand zones down low, 30-minute supply zones up top or pre-market high, pre-market low, 5-minute intraday things, 15-minute intraday. But again, all crosses are not made equally. Your best crosses, again, are going to come out of major levels. Again, 30-minute demand zones on the downside and 30-minute supply zones up top. But that's how we did today, folks. That's how we did. Overall, it was a very, very solid day. I mean, you talk about this move, 499.61. We got $6 here, folks. It's a $6 from the bottom to the top. That's a massive move. But if you look at it from the day, we opened right at about 504.14, and we closed at where did we close? 505.02. So it wasn't that much movement at the end of the day, but plenty of movement intraday. Now, if you enjoy our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day and sometimes on the weekend. Also, Don't forget to leave us a comment. We appreciate every single comment out there. And share with your friends. And if you're involved in a trading community, share with your trading community, folks. Now, if you are interested in live daily trading, so we are talking about these setups every single day, folks. I'll drag this down a little bit. We're talking about these setups every single day. If you're interested in live daily trading, folks, we do it every day. Head on over to, it's called Trading Decoded. It's our live trading Discord every single day. So from bell to bell, every single day, we talk through every single trade that presents, okay? Every single trade. So again, come over and check it out. We're going to give you that first week for free. If it is something that's for you, wonderful. If it's not, no harm, no foul. It's just a little bit of your precious time. And again, your time is very, very precious. Now, if you are interested in the 920 crossover strategy, head on over to 920trading.com. Again, the link for both of those things are down below. The entire strategy is there, folks. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on some strategy that you don't know is going to work for you. And there's nothing super, there's nothing secret, there's no special sauce out there, folks. It's all been around. It's all been around. It's just somebody's putting a brand new bow on something that's already been around. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars. The strategy's right there, 920trading.com. And again, now if you're interested in that live daily trading, again, head over to our live trading Discord, Trading Decoded. But again, that's how we did today, folks. I want to thank you for spending a little bit of your precious time with us because, again, your time is your most precious commodity. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We're going to do it again tomorrow, folks. We're going to trade, and we're going to do, we may have an update video tomorrow. It's Friday. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. But I hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and we will see you in the markets.